do we wish to have a recap?
Sure. Who's willing to recap?
I wasn't here, so it shouldn't be me. Even though I watched the video.
It should definitely be you. I don't know what you're talking about.
I watched the video. Okay.
Probably if you've watched
You
the video,
guys-
you remember better than us anyway.
Discussed torturing Gag Boy. You spent a surprising amount of time trying to work out exactly what, if anything, you were going to spend your divine question asking on.
Mm-hmm.
You eventually decided to chat him and let him go, and then while going for a wander some caves, got into a bit of combat just at the end over some wet rocks, with much discussion of how will we cross it.
Mm-hmm.
That is the expedited.
Very
Salient points.
Yep, it's pretty damn accurate.
They are the bullet points of the bullet points, but they are, fair enough. Good.
I
Done.
believe I was standing next to the edge of the river, telling the skeletons where to go.
Well, you did tell them where to go.
And they went.
Once they did. And
And
now,
feel like I should get a double XP bonus for not having been to the session but still being able to recap it, and then a triple XP bonus on top of that for the first recap that I've done.
Did you do it in the wiki?
No.
Well, that's where it's worth triple XP, so do it there.
it's true.
No, Grey wants more than bullet points.
How come I can see all the way over here? I can see where this torch is or something.
It's a
Bottom
good-
left-hand corner, I can see what's going on down
Yeah,
there.
I know. The dynamic lighting has some.
I can't.
weirdness.
Neither can I.
I can.
It doesn't matter though, because
I also can.
Yeah, the dynamic lighting has some real weirdness.
I can see
It's
through
real
walls.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but the dynamic lighting is doing some weird things lately.
Yeah, it's cool.
What can you see?
I just won't
You
look.
can see, that's all right.
We
See,
weird things or stranger things?
We already came to that spot anyway.
okay,
So
that's right, you did.
Mm.
Yeah.
You can see that chap. So I'm wondering if there's anything over there that.
I thought there might have been that torch. We've got.
Excuse me.
No.
No. You can't
As
see
for-
the torch.
As for crossing the creek, I reckon we just do hopscotch. That won't be a problem.
Okay. I just want to ask, like, would you do this?
What's that?
Like, if you came to a river like this that had like fast, rushing water of an indeterminate depth, I assume this is like there's white water here against these boulders.
Yeah, it's not.
Nice Freudian slip there.
It's not moving super fast, but it's moving fast enough that if you fell into it, it would be problematic.
Okay.
So it's not
Well,
rapid, but it is,
Oh, it's not rapids.
No.
Okay.
I'm assuming we are going to use ropes. We're not just going to go, hey boys, let's just roll lucky.
So it's
lucky
hard
roll
to
here.
swim against. It's not you get crushed on the rocks and knocked unconscious.
correct. But if you
Okay.
if you find it hard to swim against, you might get knocked on the rocks and knocked unconscious.
And it's
Yes.
also going to be a lot harder in armor.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad you're wearing all that heavy plate?
I'm not. Oh, Shiro is. Well, dang.
I'm glad I kept my +1 light.
Well, you're in the same as Shiro is in. The only person who's in heavy armor is Hypatia.
Yep.
Yeah. Wish we had heavy armor.
Well, they're not right this moment, but once we get to the other side, yes.
that's the issue, unfortunately.
Why
As
is that?
Lenza found out when she hopped onto a rock and got shot 3 times.
Be back in a minute, sorry.
They're
okay.
running away right now. Just jump across, and can Shiro turn
Jump
undead?
that far?
Turn
Highly
undead.
unlikely.
Turn
He can
undead.
attempt to turn undead. He is
So-
much worse than you. But
Well, we can just tag team it as we go across to try and keep them away. Once we get to the other side, then we can engage them.
again, Shiro is like 4'4", which makes him massive for a gnome, but he can have a real hard time jumping. Well, I guess 8 feet with a running jump actually isn't that bad, but still.
What makes it really difficult is that the tops of these rocks, as was evidenced by Lenza jumping across, is fairly treacherous, slick, a bit unstable.
To be fair, only the first person has to jump. Then Shiro can just be dragged over. Don't worry, we'll make it very ceremonious.
Yeah, you can set up a rudimentary rope bridge. That's true.
How much rope do we have between us?
100 foot, 2 sets of 50.
Okay, that's not bad.
On hand. There's more back at the donkeys, I think.
Oh yeah, if we were going back to the donkeys, we'd be getting pins.
Yeah. Or
Look-
like
Looking
building a
ar-
ladder.
looking around, we had all those spears. Looking around the area, can we see any rocks that we could potentially tie a rope to?
You could try. The rocks aren't really that great around here. Most of it look like any of the large jutting out rocks have been removed. The rocks that do kind of sit around on the edge that are even moderately sized are loose. You're going to really struggle here. You could ask one of the trogs to hold it. Trog, 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 trog.
You killed my brother.
Splush.
Oops.
Trog, 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 trog.
Yep.
It does look like the first jump's the worst jump, though.
Yeah.
First jump is the deepest.
Baby,
Well,
I know.
It's just the biggest.
Or should I say,
Yeah.
the first
This is the
jump
biggest jump.
is the deepest.
Nah, he's just
once you
uncultured.
get to here, it doesn't look that bad at all. Like this to here is like whatever.
Let's
That's
just
not fun. That's like nothing.
tie the rope onto the most agile one of us and get them to jump to the first one, and then
That's Lenza.
work our way across.
Oh, actually, it's not Lenza, but Shiro's not jumping first because he's tiny. Actually, I think Lenza might be still weak.
Who's heavier, Shiro or Minerva?
Hypatia.
Minerva is heavier than Shiro.
Okay,
Shiro
so-
can be thrown across.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. We tie a rope to Shiro. We throw him, get him to anchor. All in favour?
If you throw him too far, he'll land in the water on the other side. Pull the rope tight, and we'd be fine.
He'll be.
Yeah.
He'll act
And he's
just
got
like
all
a
that
grappling
armor.
hook.
He's got all that armor to pull him down and get the rope nice and tight. And then the water will drag him a bit to give you a bit more tension.
He's wearing Brigandine. He's not exactly in heavy armor.
But is it heavy enough?
It's
Although
still-
actually, Brigandine is fairly heavy, weight-wise. It's just flexible. Whatever.
I think we're just digressing here. We're procrastinating. In the meantime, Saran is getting slowly dissected while we sit here and discuss the merits of swimming in armor.
If she's even still alive. But
She died weeks ago, which is quite impressive.
Considering she's been gone for like less than only a couple of hours.
It didn't.
Well,
it
day.
didn't stop Caradwin.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
spoilers.
Alright, tie the rope to Minerva then. That makes sense. She's reasonably agile and she has a reasonable defense
I'm staying
compared
here
to Lenza.
praying and turning undead, by the way.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what Shiro's going to do as well. Shiro's going to come down over here.
Learn from
help
the
you
master.
out. Yo. But yeah, we'll swap the rope over to Minerva, and then Minerva can try to get across. And get ready with your bows on the shore. So if Minerva gets far enough across, you can pepper them.
What's a bow?
Okay, so
I meant just Lenza. Lenza knows how to use a bow.
I
The
do
other
know how to use
ranged
the bow.
characters are all people who are going to be doing stuff, and so the two fighters who, for some reason, don't have ranged weapons are just going to chill.
they have ranged weapons.
Yeah.
Insults and bad breath.
You can use
Shira?
Minerva's bow if you want.
Groups?
Yeah, Kroops.
So what's the range of pistol?
It's just a longbow.
Yeah.
So it does D8 +1 plus strength, and then it's range at 70 feet. It's +1 to hit, or 70 feet and less. It's +1 to hit.
Yeah. Pistols
Write me up a macro for it.
There's one right there, I think. Isn't there?
Oh, I closed those.
I can send you mine if you want.
I'm checking the house tools.
Oh, whoops. That doesn't work. I'll put it into Discord. But your Thaco is... What's your Thaco? 16?
Something like that. Let me check.
You can also
Yep,
use
16.
You can also just target your Thaco attribute on the character sheet.
What's your Dex bonus?
0.
For fuck's sake. Put a 1 in. Oh, I don't have an unlock one. Derp. Okay. That's... That should do it. Change the name around, obviously, so it's not Minerva. Alright. Anywho, now that the rope is tied around me, because I assume that that's happened, Minerva will try to, do a little hop, jump. It's only 8 feet.
Alright, make a dex check for me, see how well you balance upon the other side.
Did that not work? Oh, I
No,
just
nothing's
rolled
in
a
the chat.
d20. Damn it. Alright, here we go. 10, yes.
Cool. Alright,
Whee!
as you do so, you hear the creak and pull of bowstrings being released,
Ah!
and
So they're not turned?
they were.
Or are these different ones?
They returned.
Oh,
Turning
I
is
thought
only
they were turning in.
Returned. This is just testing that.
Oh,
So hang on. They come back.
yeah.
yeah.
Turning is only a single round thing. You
I'm
basically just drive them around.
I'm standing here turning as my actions, like until we're across. I pretty much said that at
You
the
have
start
to
of
you
the
have to
session.
direct it at them. Can you see them?
These
I
guys.
can see those three here at the edge of my vision.
Well, that's
But only since Minerva jumped, right?
No.
No, I could see them before she jumped.
Okay.
Okay, so turning is a combat action. So make a roll. See how many hit die you get.
That's pretty good, I think.
2d6 again. You guys see how many hit die you get.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Alright,
Those three. Anyway.
cool. Alright, you can be not hit by that.
Alright, but I assume if I jump again, I'm going to get hit. That's okay. Yep. Should I help people across to this island? Or shall I go to a further island and then we do the double? Because we've got the range. Guys?
Up to you. I'm here concentrating on praying.
Alright, I'm going to jump. Woo!
Okay, that one's should be okay. You can kind of hop across there without too much of an issue. It's a fairly much larger area, so we'll say you're okay. Your dex is pretty decent, isn't it?
16.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that without a trauma.
Alright. Well,
Actually, you know what? Make it on 3d6. Roll 3d6 equal to or under your dex.
alrighty. Equal.
You have a stumble, but you're okay.
Falls off the edge of the rock. All right.
Where
Come
is
on, guys.
Nicolas
Some people
Cage?
should start coming across. So I'll brace, obviously. Hold this rope here.
Can you
and this
ping
way,
Nicolas
when
Cage?
people. So, what?
The Rock.
Shh. Okay, so while I'm bracing, Hypatia can brace the other edge of the end of the rope, and somebody can loop their rope around the rope and make the jumps. And that way, if there's a problem, you're going to still be attached to the rope, so you can just pull yourself hand over hand
Kruber will.
if you fail to make the jump. But hopefully, you can just make the jump.
Okay.
What kind of a roll am I doing?
No, we'll say with the rope there and taking your time, you guys can start popping across without too much drama.
And I'll offer to swap
Brace
with
the
you.
rope. Yeah, that's
Yep.
good. Well, you can brace the rope here, give me some slack, and I'll start jumping to some further islands
Yep.
while people are coming across. So,
Yep.
If Haradni can make it to the center island,
Shiro, you should go to the
we'll-
center
yeah,
island.
I'll move Shiro over to here if he can make it. Just so he gets a better turn check in. Because that looks like a good position to be able to turn from. Yeah. Who's got Haradni?
Whoever had, it was probably Craig. No, Craig.
No. I've got a ready.
Yep.
Cool. And yeah, Hypatia. Minerva will jump across to this one and
Alright,
start.
you can make it on 3d6
Can
against
I?
your dex. Of
Can
course you
I?
can.
No.
You're good.
Alright, into this one. Doing the
And
doubles.
3d6 on that one as well.
7.
You're good.
Alright. So yeah, you guys should probably start moving across at this stage. Oh no. Can we turn them?
I can see them. I can attempt it.
Go for it.
Yeah. Sure, I'll give it a go as well. Whoa, 12. Well, sure, this is probably completely unnecessary.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh,
Bye bye.
okay. Sure tries to turn, but who knows what happens.
What happens? Does anything special happen if I roll a 12 or not really?
Nope, you're not high enough level to destroy them.
No.
That's me.
No.
Boo.
Still, you're doing succeeding.
If you high level, they explode, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, to destroy them as a... what do you need? You need to
Oh, I
get...
don't.
You need to be level 6 to destroy 1 hit die. Level 7 to destroy 2 hit die.
I don't even have to roll if they're under 1 hit die, do I?
What level are you?
Level 4?
Level 4?
Oh no, am I 4 or 3? No, I'm 4.
I'm not telling you what hit die they are though, am I?
No, you're not. I'm just saying if they're less than level 1. Is that reading this?
You
the
are
thing
correct,
correct?
yep.
Okay.
Then
cool.
what you would do is you would just roll to determine how many hit dice you would affect.
Yeah, that's right. So.
Yep.
Cool.
Alright, yep, I'm going to move Shiro over here now.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah. By rope.
Well, Harad, I guess, yeah. So the rope's just going from like here to here to here currently.
So yeah, the rope goes from Hypatia to Kruber to Minerva.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So I guess Rodney will hop across then, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That seems the way.
Alrighty.
The last person across will be Lenza, because
Yep.
we won't have somebody to brace the rope, so she'll come across last.
Sean's going to move over here, ready to go.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll keep covering just in case. I think I can get anyone
Yeah,
coming
I mean-
around there at least.
Yeah, the biggest problem is getting Hypatia across.
Yeah. Have fun bracing me.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sure, someone says
possibly
been
go
10
wrong.
foot
Well,
of
the
me,
only
but it's
person
not.
who we can leave to brace for you is Lenza, which is like good freaking luck.
I might be able to do it if I roll well.
Yeah, well, hopefully Hypatia won't need the help and she'll just get across.
Hmm.
Just be prepared to put a blessing card. Or 3.
Yeah.
I mean, they're more spectators, right?
All right, Sean, do you want to move across,
Yeah, I was okay.
or do you want to send Hypatia first? I mean,
No, I
do you
was
want to
going.
brace for her? Because then there's 2 people to brace for her. Is the only thing that I was
Is
thinking.
she like super heavy?
Yes,
Dude,
she is by far the heaviest person in the party.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. If we're happy with that, we can both
Yep,
brace. Then
I'll brace, and then she can go
Yeah.
across.
but,
like a
but
block.
let's keep moving people along, I guess. Though.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
move
not
Shiro
big
across to
boned.
here.
It's full plate.
So
I'll
these-
just put it right out there.
She's not heavy. She's Hypatia.
Indeed. All right, are these 2 enough to brace for Hypatia? She makes a little jump. Whee!
Yes.
Cool.
Alright.
All right. So is that
and
next check on a D20?
No, you're fine.
Yay.
Her and I can move across.
Yep. I was waiting for Kruber to keep going, but whatever.
No, Kruber's
No,
hold the
Krubs
rope.
is bracing.
Oh,
there.
he's bracing there. Cool, got it.
Yeah, so that's
Mhm.
he's the pivot point.
Yep,
All
cool.
right.
So
And then-
I'll jump across to here.
Yep, this is looking good. Okay, at this stage, I guess I'll move across.
Hang
Oh
on,
dear.
hang on,
Yes.
hang on, hang on.
Skelly's
The trogs are going to start throwing grenades now.
Ah, can I try to turn them with the
Go for
Shiro?
it.
All right.
because Sean's too busy at the moment.
He's crossing.
Not yet. But
6. I'm a level 3 cleric. What does that mean?
that means
That
that,
means-
you. Oh God, too many windows open.
I close the book.
That's up to level 2.
2
Okay,
hit
so
dice.
3,
Roll-
5, 7,
Roll
9.
2d6 for me, please.
10.
Cool.
They keep coming back in greater numbers. I'm just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but
Look, once we get across, we'll probably be able to deal with them.
when we
But
can put
we
a
just need to
front
get
line
across.
fighter there.
Shiro can still. Maybe he can't see them from there. He'll jump across to here. He can definitely see them from there.
Okay.
So I guess I'll turn them again if they're still within range.
They are within range.
Is other people moving along the line? Can we get
Shiro can see that there seems to be a blockage behind them. They cannot move any further.
Oh shit!
Okay. That's not as bad.
Attempting
kind
to
of.
turn them there and force them back will, prevent them
Grail,
turning.
just a quick question. Len's are being left loaded on this side. Are these trogs doing anything threatening towards her, or they're
Describe threatening. Is licking lips threatening? Chog, 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 chog.
Well, can we keep,
probably yeah?
They seem.
Can we keep the party moving?
If it was, well, just hang on a second, Henry, because Lenza is asking a very important question at this point in time.
I'm currently stuck by myself with suddenly more trogs than there were before.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, probably worth jumping, bro.
yeah,
You've got low hit points, right? So you're bleeding?
They do not have weapons in hand at the moment,
But they've got hands that are weapons?
Well, they haven't clawed you. These ones haven't clawed you before, but they do have weapons on them, big choppy swords and a bunch of javelins.
cool. I will move basically just up to here to get ready to jump, but I won't go yet unless they start coming again closer to me.
Can you move? So I say, or Shiro says, to Haradni, sister, come up here and assist me with the undead.
Cool. Yeah, fair.
And then, yeah.
I guess I'll keep moving up here, and then I don't think there's enough space for me to hop onto your rock currently.
Yeah, that's fair. Minerva, stop moving, and Minerva will make the jump to here. What do you want me to do the jump on for that one?
I'll help brace the rope here with
With the Krubs.
The Krubs.
yeah.
Cool. I guess Lenz will jump across then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, make a dex check equal to or under on a d20.
Whee!
In before I fail.
Nice.
No,
Nice.
cool, awesome. So I'll hop across.
Okay.
Do the trogs look sad? Dinner's running away.
Not particularly. It's hard to tell. They'd be really good poker players. You can't read them very much at all. They always seem to be licking their thin, lipless lips or mouth, etc. Who knows?
All right. And Min will make the last hop jump over to here.
Okay, that's
Cool.
fine. It's so small you don't need to make a roll. But as you jump over there, you're going to get attacked. Attacked! They've been waiting, hoping, praying for a moment like this. And they're going to pew 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 pew. Armor class 0 for 4 damage.
Her armor class is, yes, technically 1 at the moment.
And the third one with a bow. As 2 others will step forward. How far can they travel actually when they are... Let me bring up their stats. I have cool little stat things. Okay, so they can move 20 feet and attack with their swords. So this guy here, how far does he have to go? He has to... Oh, I'm trying to get a bloody... There. Ah, he can attack you. Oh, my mouse is deciding that the button only wants to work half the time. He'll walk in and swingeth his sword at you. That button is being pushed. Stupid thing. Looks like I'm going to replace my mouse in a second. And the other guy will wander in. And also have a swing. And he will miss, and I'll take this little interlude to swap over for the good mouse sitting across the other side on my wife's laptop.
Shall we go to initiative? Or?
We shall.
Excellent, because that way Heredny can blow them up.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's a better mouse. Alright, looks like this mouse is either going to get its batteries replaced, or it's going to get yeeted.
Yeet, 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 yeet!
Alright, so we'll start with you guys in order, going right to left. Minerva.
Minerva is bracing, because that's what she's doing at the moment.
Shiro.
So, Shiro is going to, since they actually tried to fight, Shiro will turn them.
Go for it.
That's what Shiro will attempt to do. 7.
Roll 2d6. And how
Will
many can he
turn
see?
7 hit dice of 2.
Okay.
I think he can see them all.
He can, but these ones will retreat, but he can't turn the others. Or he can. They just like, oops. They just basically kind of cower in the corner.
Yeah.
Radney.
So I guess she'll keep jumping across to here. How large is the radius on?
It's line of sight for turn.
Basically, it's
Okay,
just
cool.
driving them away. You say, "Begone, foul beasts."
Yeah, fair enough. Can she actually get past jumper this one first?
She can.
She'll do that, and then she can actually see them all, and I guess we'll turn undead.
Yeah, that's an action though.
Yeah, so she's already moved.
She moved right there.
Jumping across there is pretty awkward.
Well, I guess she can keep going then. Just use her entire movement to try and get across then.
Go for it. That's fine.
Where would be easiest? Probably here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Somewhere adjacent to Minerva.
Okay, and then Hypatia.
Alright. 2, 5. Alright, would I be able to move to here?
Yep.
Alright. Get to there, that's probably safe enough.
But that's a pretty small one. You're in fairly heavy armor. Make a dex check on 3d6 for me, please. This being the smallest and fairly treacherous rock.
Okay. 3d6.
Equal to or under your dex.
Yep, that was under.
Good.
That wasn't equal.
Not quite. It was 1 under.
1 under. Oh, it still
That'll
counts.
do. I'll take that. That's good.
Absolutely. All right. Do you wish to continue?
50-50 die roll.
Yeah, I'm on as well. Let's clear the way. So I guess I'll move to there.
Cool. All right. Then it'll be Sean.
So, what's happening with the rope?
Well, the rope's
It's
still
being held by Minerva.
The rope's so the rope is
So-
currently from
Okay, so
Kruber
Minerva's got that.
from here. It's currently like from here to
Okay.
here. I'd be imagining.
That's pretty
Yeah,
long.
although Kruber,
You've
well,
got time,
in a
don't you?
minute, Kruber will
So,
move.
can I move 35? No, I can only really move to here, can't
Yep.
I?
That's it.
Well, I
Unless
move
you wish to
to-
push Shiro out of the way and occupy his space. Out of the way, short stuff.
Shove him into the river.
Do it now.
Yeah,
Right,
just
yep.
stay there for now.
Then Jaquan.
Jaquan is going to step here, still bracing. Who's going next?
I'll hop across and grab the rope from you, and then you can try and use it to go across. We'll see. How
No, I
that
was
goes.
going to say, alternately, I can just stand here and keep bracing. Am I able to put...
Like, you might as well let me go last. Like,
3.
Yeah. Am I able to help Lenza?
You can
as
try and
well?
you can give her a push.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll have an arm to try and help stabilize her when she jumps.
Okay, fine. Go for it, Lenza.
cool. I'll jump across. I guess I'll roll the d20 again.
Yep, you can roll 3d6 for this one.
Okay.
So you're pretty much only going to fail on a 666.
Okay, that was. I needed to stop there, but yeah, that's 13. So that was easy.
Cool. Nice. Alright. Are you going to try and continue your way across?
No, I'm gonna wait here and grab the rope off Kruber.
You sure?
Yes, like you need you. I'm fine jumping unassisted. You need to get across.
Fair.
The trogs get out some javelins, but they're
Oh,
not they're not throwing them, they're just holding them and looking at you intently. They're just,
Fuck's sake.
it's the equivalent of, opening your gun ports as a sign of respect.
Mm-hmm.
Alan, I appreciate it.
Jump, Lenza.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, what can I throw back at them to discourage or distract?
Nothing bad has ever come from misunderstanding a sign of respect.
Exactly.
What?
Of course not.
Anyway, yep. So that's my turn.
Okay, so these things here, the skellies, have been turned. They come out of their turning, but that's about it for this round. New round. All right. Radney, what are you going to do?
Okay, so I'm just reading the rules of Turn Undead because I hadn't had to worry about it up until then. Cool. So Karadni is level 6, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she actually has the capacity to maybe destroy these if they're
Maybe.
good.
Maybe.
Cool. So. Cool. So yeah. So if they're undead, hate 1. Anyway, I'll roll a 2d6 and see how we go there. Nine.
Okay. Yes, they do turn to dust.
Nice.
Excellent.
All right, now we can get across. Who's
Yep.
next?
I'll let you guys move across now without problem.
Yep. Awesome.
You're not under
Not
any
under
duress.
stress.
What about the trogs?
They just wave their javelins at you. Watch.
Cool.
Yeah. They're like, okay, now we can get back to fishing, guys.
And they're like, come back soon. We have a present
Alright.
for you.
Cool.
Get back out her shield.
Cool.
I'll pass Minerva back her bow.
Sword and shield.
Thanks.
And we'll wrap up the rope again.
Okay, you do so. So yes, at the spot here, it does appear that there are basically wooden planks barring the egress of the skeletons further. Not hard to remove, but that's where they are.
Requires level of intelligence, not possessed by skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
Alright,
much.
looks like we're moving into dangerous territory again, unexplored.
Marching order.
So at this stage, Shiro will cast Find Traps and say, "Hey, stop walking around. What are you doing? It's dangerous down here." For the unwary. I'll just put that aura back on.
Cool.
Aura.
Nice.
That's 20 foot, isn't it? 20 changes. There we go. Let's
Okay.
form the shield wall. Alright. And in fact, Shiro's going to cast Cure Wounds on Minerva because she has Opcus at the moment. Though she's still got more than
We have
Menza
heals?
does.
I'll be
We've
fine.
used- Haven't we used all our heals?
No, because we
Shiro has one.
had a few days to rest. Remember?
We had 1 day to rest.
Yeah,
we
we
used
had 1
all
day.
our heals, and then
Yep.
we decided to troop off. And
Yes, Radney has 1 Cure Light wounds left.
I have
Yeah.
1 left as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we
But
all
at
kept
this
one.
stage, 'cause-
How does
yeah.
that work, Henry? We used all our heals, didn't we? Oh, by the way, my character still has 1.
Yeah, everybody saved 1. I figured
Everyone
everybody would
saved
save 1. That's okay. Like,
No,
clerics should, but at this stage, like, if Minerva's going to be at the front of the group, she probably needs some more hit points than... She gets one shot by Den pretty easy. Just saying.
To be
Shiro doesn't have a
fair,
weak weapon, or he doesn't want to be on the front line. Maybe
I'm not talking about a crit. I'm just saying a regular hit. Anyway.
if you're talking about Den one-shotting, Den one-shots most things.
Yeah, well, your fat crit rolling.
He's talking about himself now.
Yep.
Alright. Yep, so gonna heal Minerva.
Okay.
Before. Bing. Yay, back to how many she was on before. Thanks,
Cool.
skeletons.
If Shiro doesn't have a reach weapon, maybe Kruber should go behind me.
He's only there for Find Traps.
Okay.
But yes, you're correct. Kruber should go there.
No, where Haradni... Oh, there. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
I
Radney's
guess we
got
can
reach
move in a formation like this. It just has to be like we need to be in step. Because
Yep.
if you guys move outside the aura, there's no point in having the aura.
I hear that.
Yeah, so at no stage is Minerva going to move more than 10 feet away from Shiro.
Bring up the rear, Sean. Then
Okay. Even though I have the aura of preventing anyone from hurting us. Oh, it's gone. Is it?
Yeah, I turned it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, remember,
when that would finish.
Grail, I'm evading so that I can give people the evade on the 4+. If they're next to me.
It's a good system, but it's not this system.
No, this is more like a system apocalypse.
Alright. What's blocking the way up ahead?
A
Planks.
wooden wall.
A wooden wall.
Yeah, just
Well,
a few wooden planks.
Kind of like the ones we have in BT.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was there obviously to prevent the skeletons from wandering off or moving back. Skeletons couldn't bypass it, but anyone with even half a brain cell can probably quite easily avoid it.
Pull the boards down.
Yep,
Yeah.
Shiro can probably even, quite easily go all limbo underneath it, Hermes Conrad style.
How many boards are there? And do they look strong?
There's about 6 boards, and they're not very sturdy at all. They're fairly haphazard. It is clear that they are there purely to block the retreat of the skeletons.
Well, let's
Yeah,
try and get
okay.
them off
I was
the-
just wondering because it's like 10 feet across, and I'm like, well, a 10-foot across board bridge would be perfect for when we make our return. But I guess I'll just stack the boards over here. Maybe
Sure.
I'll look at it when we return.
Sure.
If we return this
They
way.
look a little bit flimsy too. You probably don't want to trust the weight of anyone substantial upon one.
Okay, fair enough.
Alright, that's how you wish to progress?
yes,
Yes.
please.
Just don't move more than 10 feet away from
Well,
Shiro.
you got your continual lights as well, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Although Shiro doesn't have one of those.
And you
I
created
think
them.
six enough. 6 of them is plenty.
By the
But
way,
Shiro has dark vision. Wow.
Minerva created them, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Cool. All right.
They don't go away when Minerva dies, do they?
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe they explode.
Who knows?
That'd
It's
be
not like it's
fantastic.
not like they were created with unholy power. Oh wait.
No, that
Look-
book was good. He was my friend.
Mm-hmm.
All I
I'm-
said, guys,
I'm
was
not
that we
talking
should
about the
throw
book.
all of our light sources at the big monster and then slit Minerva's throat just in case. And hey, it didn't work out this time.
Well, it's kind of it's a bit hard to try that again. Or
No,
ghost.
it's fine. Just chalk it up to experience.
Right? See which we level, right?
Yep.
From Minerva.
Okay. So who has light sources out?
Kruber.
I do, Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
That's fine. I just wanted to know who had
Yeah.
it out. The tunnel continues for some time. Narrow, dark, twisting. You find no other signs. Your spell of undead. Your spell, Shiro, wears off.
Ooh.
The
I only had one.
yeah, and still
Ruh-roh.
still you have found no exit yet. At some stages, the tunnel gets pretty low to about 7 feet, 8 feet tall or high at its most. It can get a little bit narrow, almost down to single file or worse. And Hypatia, especially with her heavy and cumbersome armor, and all your packs, find it at some stage to be a little bit awkward. But you guys can move through still reasonably unaccosted. You travel for a good couple of hours.
Ooh. Okay.
Good thing we've all got constitutions that are worthwhile. Isn't that right, Hypatia?
Shut up. It's horrible.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over the gasping and the wheezing and the cries for it to end.
And you all
I wanted to volunteer for the tunnel combat and battle rolls with the mercenaries.
Yep.
Oh, God.
I will actually get you all to make a constitution check for me, please.
Excellent. On D20 to
3d20,
3d6.
d20 equal to or below. See if you get fatigued.
Cool.
Nope.
How much fatigue? Oh, yes.
Beautiful.
Nope.
I'm good.
Okay, it's just one fatigue.
I mean, to fail is human, but to critically fail is Al.
Mm-hmm.
Guess I'll roll for her then too. So it's con 12, not too bad.
Okay,
No, she still failed.
cool. Lovely.
Oh.
What's ooh?
Oh, we're on a different map.
You are.
We're on the map indeed.
Yes, because eventually the tunnel slowly seems to start winding its way up and out, and you do see ahead of you small pinpricks of light slowly breaking out into larger beams, and then suddenly, almost without warning, you stagger out of the dark and into the open air. It is a late afternoon, the shadows are long, but it is still much brighter than what you have been accustomed to for the last 48 hours, give or take.
I don't suppose there's some trog tracks for us to follow, hunters.
You are pretty tired, some of you especially so.
Oh,
Yeah, we should probably camp for the evening.
okay. Sure is cool with that. Minerva's a little bit like, what? But
Look around for a
how far
Good
away did they
camper.
say it was? They said it was 1 or 2 days, didn't they? Depending on how quickly we move over the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Grail,
Yes.
is there some kind of weathered top that we could pitch our camp on and light some fires that can be seen by any passing ring wraiths?
Yeah, why not? And maybe I'll just have Glorfindel wander past.
Either that's really, really good for us, or really, 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 really bad for us.
He's got a job or a
Cool.
group with a special set of skills. Failing spectacularly.
Now,
Welcome to
I
the circus,
picked-
boys.
no, because I can see Peter Jackson casting Liam Neeson as Glorfindel,
He
and it kind of works.
they did cast someone as Glorfindel though.
Listen, I don't know what you've done with my role, but I will find it.
Okay, fine. Camp.
Do you wish to have?
Preferably not on top of a weathered top.
Gotcha. Alright, so do you wish to have any alteration to your party watch, which was the last one we had was Minerva, Radnij, then Jaquan, Hypatia, Lenzo, and then Sean and Shiro. Do you wish to keep that?
I don't see any reason to change it.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Before I go to sleep, though, Lenza,
Yes.
do you want to be invisible?
Invisible.
Mhm.
I also just like some healing, honestly, but you know.
Yeah, but Minerva can't heal you, but she can make you invisible.
Why would I want to be invisible when I'm going to sleep?
What do you mean? It doesn't wear off. Invisibility ends when you attack somebody or get attacked.
Wait, there's no time limit on it?
Nope.
Oh, that's great. That's beautiful. Yeah, sure. Why not? I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Can I get healed before that? I don't know whether healing requires you to be able to see the person.
It doesn't technically require you to be able to see a person to heal them.
You got to touch them.
Cool.
You have to touch them. So you could walk up to someone and be like, "Hey, it's me right in front
Yeah,
of you."
okay.
Touch them and then be like, "Heal me,
Cool.
please."
Well, if Heredity could heal me, that would be great. Just before we do that, just to get the last of the few spells going.
Sure. I mean,
I'll
she's your
roll.
character, so
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm only doing because I'm on 5 health, and I think I'm the most endangered person out of everyone here currently. Yeah,
Yep.
he's healing at D8 or a D6.
D6 plus 1.
D6 plus 1. Yep.
What is Lenz's dexterity like?
17. Wow, incredible.
Okay.
Yeah, Lenza has really good dex and is average at pretty much everything else apart from strength.
I was just checking because obviously going to the toilet when you can't see anything is going to be quite tricky.
Not for her, it won't. It'll be
I
fine.
do it all the time.
Cool. Anyone else got any healing they'd like to use on me? That would be lovely.
I will use all of my healing spells on Lenza.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Which is to say, Kruber overhears that, walks up, stares at you intently. You get worried he's going to pop a vein, and then he goes, "Are you feeling better?"
I think Sean was saying that he still had some healing left, but he might want it for himself. Who knows?
No, well, I'll cast it on whoever needs it, but you keep talking over me, so I gave up. So, who's getting it?
Probably Lenza, because I'm currently on 7 HP.
Okay.
I think that's still less than Sean. Yeah.
1d6 plus 1, isn't it?
Yep.
Correct.
That works much better. Thank you very much. I'm on 13. I'm feeling much better now. And apparently I'll be invisible, which will be maybe handy.
Yep, make you invisible.
You'll wake up in the morning, forget that Minerva cast
Where am I
invisibility,
going?
and everyone will be like, "Oh my god, what's happened to Lenza? Don't tell me we're going to get an I'm Lenza now."
God, that would be weird.
It'd just be funny. You actually, in the morning, just start saying, "I'm Lens now," and we wouldn't even know. We'd be like, "Oh no, we've been swapped, but they're also invisible. This is terrible. What are they doing?"
As funny as that would be, Lenza would not do that.
But Oz, on the other hand, okay, yes, that's fine. Nothing untoward attacks you or accosts you during the night. You are able to rest. The rest is, I'm assuming, those in armor do not sleep in their armor. Does anyone sleep in armor?
Heck no.
No.
Not without a...
Like
Sleeping in light or flimsy armor is okay.
if you're wearing like elven or dwarven armor, does it count as being one type lighter than it is because it's elven or dwarven, or does it count as the type that it is?
Dwarven isn't necessarily lighter; it's just tougher.
Ah, well,
And the
elven
dwarves
in that case. I'm just wondering if Minerva's, because she's in medium armor, but it's
It's
elven. She's in like
no, it's still medium armor.
okay.
She could wear an elven cloak and just tuck it in around her at night time without problem.
If only she had one.
dwarves can sleep in their armor,
All right.
and by sleep I mean pass out.
Okay, so anyone who was fatigued only heals at half rate overnight, but you do lose your fatigue level. So remember, you heal 10% of your maximum hit points rounded up. So half that for anyone who has a fatigue level.
So 3 hit points.
Yay! There goes my healing.
2 hit
Who
points.
had the fatigue level?
Me and Kruber, I think.
No, me and her and me.
Radney and
Rodney and Hypatia.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Radney had it
What's
too.
on Hypatia?
The
is my max hit points only 26? Probably.
Should be a little higher. Should be a
You
lot
prob-
higher, actually.
He rolled really bad.
Yeah.
hang on a second. Hang on a second.
I can't see the token, so normally I just do +3, but
Yep, hang on a second. If I do, I'll tell you what. I'll put your tokens on this game.
Just up in the mountain somewhere. We become giant statues.
Mhm.
They can
why is this small bell-ended half-orc trying to lick me?
There you go. I'll put them up at the top.
Yeah, lovely.
Nah, that is better. So
Cool.
if it's of 36, then I actually heal 4. Yay!
run doing hit points wise.
30 of 36.
21, 23 of 31.
Wow, you have more hit points than Hypatia does. That probably makes sense. She's got negative con.
Did
Yup.
Lenza agree? Lenza?
Cool. I got 5 more.
Yeah.
About that. I think that over heals me, which is nice. Yes. So I'm back to full.
Your token is... Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I just changed it then.
Kruber would rather not have a heal now, but save it for when it's more important.
Okay. Well,
If something's going to do 30 points of damage to me, there's a decent chance it might do 36 points of damage to me, so...
Yeah, if you're down by 7 hit points or more, hit us up for a heal.
Yeah.
what about Hypatia? How many is Hypatia down?
8.
Then you should get a heal.
That's worth it.
You get a heal.
Pradney can do that, or unless Sean does.
Surely
just
that's
does it
a
again.
that's a character concept for you, isn't it? A cleric called Oprah.
Oh,
It is now.
Look, can't you
I
just-
mean,
Did you get those 4 hit
Holy
points?
water.
Yep.
yeah, I was going to say I need to be able to conjure furniture by the skeletons. Give me, and what's that under your seat? It's a turning. You crumble to dust. You crumble to dust.
I think that's just you saying, I don't think so.
But my bard was going to be a serious character concept.
Alright.
I think you should do the
That
bard.
doesn't sound
Sounds
like
cool.
you.
Do the
Do
hunters
we?
want to lead the way?
I mean, I'm not, what are we tracking is the issue here. I guess just any signs of life.
Which should I do, Grail?
The bard. I think it's a cool idea.
Mhm.
So, you guys are trying to move further forward, are you?
Yeah, that's what we're doing here. So, were we told any like directions, or was it just go that way until we find it?
It was 2 mountains over. Isn't that what they said?
That's
2
what
days travel in this direction.
that's what
And
the
keep
bird said. Yep.
on till sunrise.
He did draw us a pseudo mud map, but
Mhm.
you know,
He didn't
for the
draw
value
us
of that
anything.
mud-
He told us some stuff.
Oh.
Well, he says
Yeah.
bird.
No, the
trog.
troglodyte. I meant.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was what we got. That was what we got out of him.
It was.
Because he wouldn't guide us, and I was like, well, you know, draw with the stick. Anyway, hunters lead the way.
Sure.
Alrighty. I'll become a target.
All right. You
I just mean point. You know, you don't actually have to walk at the front.
Oh, meat shield. Walk that way.
you can start moving through this area. It's fairly hard going, but not as bad as it was before. The mountains seem to plateau out a little bit, start merging in more to smaller mountains / hills, and very slowly but surely give way
They're
to.
drawing their plans against us.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you.
So I should have a NPC called Ogilvy because it's a good name.
Now, if I do a cleric, he's going to be called Nathaniel. Dwarven cleric named Nathaniel.
The mountains do start to give way, and you realise that you've come through basically the other side without too much drama.
What
And
kind of XP is that for the mountains giving way before us? I mean, they got to be worth quite a bit of XP.
absolutely, but it's been put in a, it's been put away for you until you've reached the age of maturity.
Oh, that is going to be literally forever.
hmm And as you've come out and you start realising the mountains are giving way, you haven't found anything which would indicate this great spot that you were looking for.
The darkness.
Hmm.
We did just walk out of a tunnel that was very dark.
I'll have the two hunters roll just a d6 each for me, please.
Cool.
Does
Amazing.
Low better be good.
That's pretty good rolling. All right, Lenza, you start looking around. You're thinking, "Oh, this is total BS. We're kind of screwed here," and you realise that the tunnel has probably led you under under all the mountains. So you're going to have to double back over the top of the mountains.
So what like?
You're a little bit further afield. You think you're probably closer to here.
And we're aiming for here?
Somewhere here, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So the tunnel has led you underneath where you wanted to go, basically, and
Yep.
you've come out much further down.
That's not terrible, I guess, but
It's not, but it could have been if you just kept wandering off without any kind of direction.
True.
But no, you have realised the error of your ways. You weren't given any real clear guidelines on how to traverse this tunnel, but you have realised that looking around, because the mountains had given way and you were not expecting them to, and you were starting to enter into hills, that, hang on a second, this isn't right. And then looking behind you, you've seen that the peaks are fairly numerous.
All right. Let's climb one of them and see if we can see a patch of darkness.
Back up the hill.
cool.
Okay, you start traipsing up there. You'll spend pretty much the rest of the day going up. It's slow and tedious, but you do manage to get to the top of one of these mountains. And yes, I'll let everyone roll a d6 for me, please.
1 again.
That's good enough. Yay. Yes, you do
Be
spy.
bad.
No, you do spy my
With
laptop.
my little eye.
You do spy my laptop going into hibernation, which is the dark place.
That makes sense.
hmm You do spy, kind of nestled between two small arms of the mountain, very shallowish looking, very narrow canyon, and it is pitch black within. It seems that no light penetrates it. It should, even though it is starting to get on in the day, there should still be light reaching down within, but none. It's almost like a great big blanket of ink has been thrown across it. By the way, it's really awkward with the rest of you trying to travel with an invisible lenser.
Do we
I just-
keep treading on her?
Some stuff like that happens, yeah.
I try to keep out of the way as much as possible. It shouldn't
Lenser's
be
like,
too. It shouldn't be too hard, honestly.
Lenser points and says it's just over there,
Yeah.
and
Now-
everyone turns in a different direction. What?
Remind me, were we coming here for Ancient Mai or Gareth Marenghi? Because I can't remember.
Ancient Mai.
Mai the Immortal.
This is the
Oh,
one
my
that
dear.
we're trying to kill, apparently.
No, we're not trying to kill her. We're trying to, what is it? Cure her of her curse.
Yes,
Yes.
Cure of a Curse. Oh, well, particularly, well, yeah, sure.
By murdering her, yeah.
To steal her immortality.
It doesn't sound that good, honestly.
What?
Immortality.
Yeah, but I'm Wisdom 4. Sounds
It really does.
As a being that's like 2 months old,
If
Minerva
I
has
was-
decided that immortality is legit.
If I was really switched on and had done proper prep work, I could at this point in time cue Queens Who Wants to Live Forever. You'll just have to imagine that I did. Because I am not going to try and harmonise that, not in the life. I can't carry a note, let alone try to imitate Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
That shit ain't happening.
Unwise move.
So, yeah, pretend I am. Yay.
Amazing.
Indeed. That's your catchphrase.
Such immersive storytelling.
I'll run you. I'll play in your game.
Look, Grail, I have been so restrained. Yeah, you just put a picture.
Mhm.
I put the actual video.
Nice. I did say to the other guys I've been in a pretty bad mood today, so deal.
Which is why I haven't been posting gifs.
Fair enough.
So yes, there is the arms of this small, narrow-looking, possibly shallow. You think it's shallow because the arms on either side outside of the canyon aren't very deep or very high, but it is inky black within.
That probably is probably the spot. I'm gonna just hazard a guess then.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yep.
Certainly the
Cool.
place that the crow was talking about.
The huntsmen, who have a more, they don't really have an affinity with nature, but you've got more of an idea of it, and the elves, which is really just one who's already a hunter, and the Minerva, who has a slight affinity with nature, being half elf, do notice, however, that where this inky black shadow seems to touch, it's almost like it's devoid of life. Not even grass seems to grow there. It is barren and desolate, just on the edges, so what is within, you can only imagine.
Gruber is going to find a nearby stump or bit of fallen tree, put his foot up on it, lean on his knee, gaze into it, and say, "My, I have a bad feeling about this."
Mm.
Sean is going to push him into the black.
I return immortal! The first to cross was the first to inherit her full powers. Now nothing will prevent my humor from conquering the world.
I think he was just saying that he makes you profitable, but okay.
Aw.
Look, there's no time like the present.
Yep.
Except now. And now.
So you're going to head
I
down
mean,
towards it?
that is the present now. Yep.
Just quickly, how far away is it, and how much time's left in the day?
So you've probably got another hour or so of daylight, and you reckon you might be able to get there by the time night falls.
Do we want to be rocking up right as night falls?
Well, we can camp,
At the edge.
at the
It's
edge.
atmospheric.
Yup, it sure is.
And hope that it doesn't move in the night while we're sleeping.
Yep.
Okay. That would be a pretty good end to this
I
party.
mean, if we camped where we are now and it moved while we were sleeping, we'd still be like, well, that was freaking annoying.
Yes, unless it moves over the top of us and devours our life force.
Yeah, but who knows how far it moves?
From what I've been hearing, it probably doesn't move much. Shockingly, but
It could be
because
like a dark
it's in the spot
glacier.
where we were told it was found.
Also, given all the discussion of life force things, I think we should all keep a very close eye on Hypatia when we step in, as she is very much our canary. With her constitution, if there are any negative effects, she will feel them first.
That's
Love
true.
you, buddy.
It's fine.
Alright, are you camping here, or camping on the edge, or camping in Sumberton?
Sumberton. A bit closer.
Yeah, I'd probably say not right on the edge, but at least enough that we can.
Yeah, I don't want to be able to stick my hand.
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Minus
Enough that we've got a short walk in the morning.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, you can set up camp and keep the same watches, and if you wish to cast any spells before you hit the sack, feel free to do so. Wipe out your spells if you'd want.
I guess we might as well heal back up to full then. Now that we've
Well, I only need 2 points to heal to full overnight.
Yeah, sure, he'll heal himself.
I'll be practically full by overnight.
Yeah, but we've got heals, so we should use them.
I
Sure.
need literally 1 hit point.
Yep, and I only need 2, but he makes a good point.
Yeah, so
just in case we don't, for some reason we don't get a good night's sleep. Sleeping next to the giant black pool of death.
Which one of those was on me, Tess?
Oh, mine was on Chiro. So I assume Sean healed you. I'll
No.
heal Hypatia.
Radney's
Cool.
cool too if we need him. What's Radney's?
Oh, right.
It does.
Total.
No,
Now I
didn't put
roll
I didn't put a
perfect.
character sheet for Radney on.
Thank you.
My
So I'll
apologies.
just roll some dice for her because she's got plenty.
Ugh.
That's for. Okay.
Fun story, it will let you overheal.
Yeah, it will, because
Yes.
you get 10 hit points. It will change it to have a little plus
Yeah.
on the
Okay.
token.
Radney's back up to full health, so that's good. She's still got one more heal if anyone needs it, but I think we're good.
I'll heal Hypatia because she needs 1 hit point. So there you go, have 5.
nice.
Good. And we'll heal with that because why not?
Oh dear, is it not linked up again? Oh well, doesn't matter.
There we go.
So there's Radney in the top corner as well.
All good. Cool, so we're all full health, amazing.
I've got a spare heal. Woo. And then Minerva is going to cast invisibility on her helm.
Okay.
I mean, is this just the start of it?
Hey,
No.
a helm that's invisible is cool. It doesn't block my line of sight anymore.
I was going to say, does that mean you don't get the penalty to perception?
I don't know.
Surprise is more than just sight. Surprise is also hearing, and it still blocks that.
Yeah, but would it if you
Yes.
were searching for traps
No.
or hidden doors? So
No.
that's still kind of cool. Can you make
I'm
my,
just-
my helmet invisible?
I can do one thing per day, and there's no way I'm wasting invisibility on random shit most of the time. It's just that I had prepared invisibility, and I was like, I am not throwing this away. I must cast spells.
I'm looking forward till we get back to Summit and you're like, I cast invisibility on 2 of my fingers. And you're like, look, guys, I got injured. I need some free food. Hey.
I'm missing a leg from the. I can't target it like that, but yeah.
I was actually
You
expecting
can.
making doors invisible, because that would be the best practical joke.
Oh, dick move, but yes, that is actually pretty good. Kind of like that.
When we get up in the morning, it's like, has anyone seen my undergarments? And he's like, no, no.
No, because I made them invisible, so no one can see them.
Yeah. Can anyone hear a mule? I can't
Yeah,
see one,
exactly.
but I
I
can
was
hear a
literally
mule.
thinking we could have invisible donkeys. Like, what are you guarding? Nothing.
Yeah.
Are you like getting some coconuts together? Maybe.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. So, Lenza is invisible, which means I should do this.
Yeah.
Okay. You cast your spells, and
Yes.
during the night, those on watch, especially at the height of night, will
Mhm.
hear what appears to be a sorrowful, mournful dirge echoing across the landscape.
Hmm.
Faintly, but it is there.
Uh-huh. And do we have any knowledge of what could cause a dirge like that? Like a banshee or like the tails of those sort of things? Shiro.
No, it
Question.
just no, nothing. It doesn't sound like anything crazy. It sounds like someone singing.
Okay.
Someone singing. It doesn't sound like it's. You do not cast upon it any supernatural aspersions.
Can we understand any of the words? Are they in a language we understand, or can we barely pick up the tone?
No, you think you can hear some of it, but the words themselves, I don't know. I don't think you guys have a language which would. What languages do people speak?
Shorthand, Common Elven, High Elven, Old Law, Trade Tongue.
Ancient Emo, I believe that is the correct language for this.
I
I
talk
guess I
divine
need
language.
to speak Central. Let me just check. Should have. That's why I wrote this down.
I do not speak any relevant languages.
No. Unless it's to do with the divine language.
No,
Not really useful.
none of
Where are
you.
languages listed again?
And your character sheet.
Yeah, thanks.
Under your Thaco.
Thaco.
No. I know my languages for Minerva. I need to look them up for Shiro. That's fine.
Oh, so if you're talking about on the wiki.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is an actual language page for the wiki. So if you go back to the wiki main page, there is languages. If you want to learn what languages characters can get at creation, it's under house rules. Under creating a character, there is starting languages within there.
Ah, okay.
Do
Ooh,
we
the
sleep
bleak tongue.
unmolested in the end? Or we haven't got there yet?
You will be unmolested. But it all depended.
That doesn't mean we're not attacked.
It all depended if anyone wished to try and pursue anything about this dirge. Apparently not, other than sounds weird. Do I speak the language? No. Right, fuck it.
I'm good.
Shiro's going to go, what could it be? I'm going to pick that language.
Oh, well, he's going to have Dwarven Stone Speak. That's all I wanted to
Yes.
find out what he has.
He gets that
Otherwise,
automatically.
Yeah.
And he gets Divine Language, Gift of the Gods.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Okay. And he gets one additional language. He can choose High Dwarf, Udar, Goblin, the Olden Tongue, Central, Trade Tongue.
trade tongue.
Done. Okay. Morning will dawn. You can heal your 10% hit points as required.
I think we're all good. I think we're all good anyway. But yeah,
Learn spells as you
Full
so
health.
choose.
yeah.
Any recommendations on spells for the next 24 hours?
I hear invisibility on your middle finger's pretty funny.
On his lower
Wouldn't you
horn.
want to? Wouldn't you cast it on everything but the middle finger?
No, because this would really upset you when you want to flip people off. Oh god,
Yeah.
it's not working.
Why?
In
I don't know what spells
Heredity
you have
might
access to.
Heredity might prepare cure disease. Like she highly doubts that's going to help, but it can't hurt to have.
Do any of you have protection against life-sucking BS as a spell option?
I have protection from evil.
I get the sense it's not going to be evil, but you could try.
Mm.
Beep.
Let me stop that. Burp.
I like the way that he put his microphone into a sack and beat it a few times just before he left.
Well, Craig's not here, so someone had to.
Yep.
All right.
I was saying I like the way you put your mic in a sack and then beat it a few times before you left.
Really? Okay.
It was loud.
Good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's your plan?
Actually, hold on. Remove curse might be more useful than cure
Remove
disease.
curse. Heck yeah. We need to remove curse. We're going to try and do that to her.
Yeah, I highly doubt it's going to work because
Obviously, someone else would have tried it. Yes,
Yeah,
agreed.
so-
May as well give it a go.
Still a good start, yep.
Maybe Augury might be. No,
I've
probably.
already got that.
Okay, cool.
Should I step into this black abyss?
Well, I thought we were going to send High Patron first as a canary.
Hey, I could learn silence 15 feet and we could cast that on the mule when we make it invisible.
And then you forget where you parked it.
Yeah.
I'm beeping the key, but I'm just hearing noise. Where are you, mule?
Also, like it's as Lenza can attest. It's very weird to be invisible and not see your own body, and I'm like expecting it and know what's happened to me. Casting it on an animal, they're gonna like stress out and die probably just from the fact that they can't see themselves, even though it's not really. It's just a thing.
All right, I have taken some different
Lenza
spells.
advocates genocide by invisibility
Invisibility.
against
Yeah.
animals.
I must admit, I'm not entirely sure on the psyche of mules. I'm not a mule psychologist.
Well,
It depends. Are we talking Asimov mules here, or?
Or are we calling it a mulecologist?
I don't know, but what are you doing? You learnt your spells. Is there anything untoward you guys need to be doing? Want to be doing? Are doing? Is
Having
doing?
breakfast.
You eat it.
Unnatural darkness. That sounds pleasant.
Which means I have to go hunting for my breakfast.
I'm a little bit concerned that one of these players is now going to, as a hobby, cast invisibility on squirrels. Yes, that's right, squirrel. You can't see yourself.
Just wander through the streets of a city, randomly casting invisibility on
On pigeons.
pigeons.
Why is that so funny?
Alright, well, does someone just want to go in the darkness and see what happens?
Yeah, I've
Line on
volunteered
them?
you. I volunteered you. If you step in and are okay, that means the rest of us are clearly okay.
Sure. Does anyone want to tie a rope to me or something, just in case?
I mean, I
Yeah.
was going to say tying rope is probably a good idea in general, honestly. Like, if it's
Okay.
if we can't see literally anything in there, then it's going to be real difficult to
I
navigate,
thought we could
regardless of.
see things in a bit, and it just looked like that's how we could tell that there was nothing appearing to live in there.
The ground around it is barren,
Okay.
desolate, dead. Not even grass or weed grows upon the rocks around it. They are devoid of life.
Is there like trees and stuff a distance away, like
A
within,
distance away, yes.
as in like meters, or is it
No,
hundreds of
nothing.
meters?
Nothing. Probably within 20 feet or so.
Okay, I'm gonna go and cut a branch off a shrub or a tree or something a ways away,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna throw it into the darkness area.
Maybe you
Okay.
just
Not
poke it
into
and
the
see what
darkness, but
happens.
close to.
Okay.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
where everything is dead, to see if it
Are
shrinks.
you gonna
Or
tie us a bit of rope around that so you can pull it back and
I'm not
check
sure
if
what
you do
needs to
throw
see
it?
the trick. Oh, for when we throw it inside the actual darkness.
Yes.
Good plan. When we throw it into the actual darkness.
Yep.
well, you could just stick one end of it in and hold the other end.
If you want. It's also valid.
Well, I thought we were testing the dead area around it first and then
Well, yeah,
slowly
yes.
moving in.
We are, yes.
All right.
Does anything appear to happen to the stick
No.
or the bush? Although I've cut it off from the mother tree, so it potentially could not be considered living anymore.
Yep. I've already said no.
Okay.
Then let's venture forth.
Well,
I give
Well,
the stick to.
who wants to stick their hand in? Just to make sure.
Mm.
Minerva will stick her hand in,
Okay.
Mhm.
and then she pulls it back out again.
You have a hand still. You
She
are
wiggles a little
alive.
around.
You put your left foot in. You put your left foot out. You put your left foot in. You shake it all
Out there,
about.
boys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Cool. She's gonna poke her head inside.
Okay.
Can she see anything?
Consider, as you are up close to it now, that it's almost like this valley is thick with a blanket of fog, but the fog is void blackness.
Right.
So you can kind of wave your hand around
So it's like
in
black smoke, sort of thing.
black, thick smoke that sits and doesn't move, pretty much. No.
Huh. Cool. And obviously the continual light pendants do not penetrate it in any way.
Correct.
Okay. Can we hear stuff from inside? Like if I listen?
Make it detect noise.
Sure.
Are you taking your helmet off?
Yes.
Your
We'll
invisible
take
helmet?
my invisible helmet off 2 seconds.
Don't put
I
it
mean,
down.
I am terrible at hear noise. Although, if I'm rolling a d6, I'm actually better at it. Just stupid. But okay.
No, you're not, because if you're using your normal, like a normal person's attempt to hear stuff, then that doesn't pick up really, difficult to hear things.
Okay. I just meant because I have a familiar that gives me +1 to it. But that doesn't translate for the other check. Which is weird.
You have a what that does now?
Because Enki, gives a bonus to listen checks.
Oh, in that
But-
case, how much does he give? +1?
Just +1. Yep.
In that case, it will translate to, if I have a look at thieves, I just didn't count the retainer for it. So if I go down to existing class mods and thieves, it would be similar to an elf bonus, and elves get +10. So Enki will give you +10%.
All right, let's give it a go. Looking for 25 or less. 41.
That is more than you wanted.
Does anybody hear a refrigerator? It's like a little humming sound. Anybody?
What's a refrigerator?
Great question.
You hear nothing. Nothing untoward other than, I don't know, Hypatia's mouth breathing.
I think I hear the sound of adventure. Let's go.
The sound of adventure.
Well,
Oh dear.
in that case,
Is that helpless creatures screaming as we tear them apart?
Probably.
Your
The
turn?
troll.
I guess we'll wander in and see how we go.
Should we tie a rope around something before we venture in so that we have a way out? Ooh.
I don't think we have enough rope.
well, depends how thick the fog is. We don't know yet. Or deep, I should
From
say.
one side of this canyon to the other, you estimate to be maybe about 400-500 feet.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah.
ridiculously massive.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
But-
Still, I don't think tying a rope to anything is going to really help us get out.
I think
It's
tying
a
a
question
rope
of it's
to
a-
each other is a good idea, though.
Yeah, I like that idea. Because it could be like a shroud, if we're lucky.
All right.
Cool.
Sure. Ropes to each other. That
Do
makes
we
sense.
want to leave Lenza out of that?
Do you want to be left out of that?
Well, I mean,
Tying a rope to you doesn't break your invisibility.
no, but it makes it obvious I'm there.
That's okay. They won't know who you are.
Yeah, you can steal everything.
Lenza will not be tied up.
Okay. You
She's
can just
not-
hold on to the bit
She's
of
not
rope.
into that scene.
Yeah.
If you just hold on to the rope, like in between two people, that won't be very obvious, but you'll
Yeah,
still...
exactly.
yeah. Or hold someone's hand, you know. Oh.
Did you want your hand to be held, do you?
Yeah. Minerva likes hand holding. She hasn't had any friends before.
Hey, Kruber, I've got a job for you.
I tried this earlier, it didn't work. Also, there's something going on with her and Sean. Making a comeback.
It's true.
All right. Meander into the darkness.
Okay.
Go, Hope.
Is anyone going to cast augury before we walk in there?
I mean, yeah, we can do that.
What do you want to ask?
Hypatia will do that. Is this a good idea to go wandering into this pitch black?
Will we be able to find Mai if we wander into this pitch black? You've got to ask, like...
Yeah,
No.
well, that's a big question.
No.
You got to
no,
ask a specific question that is going to be in the next 3 rounds. So
No.
will we find
No.
3?
Next
No.
hour.
No. You state a course of action that you are going
that's
to do in the next 30 minutes. You don't say, so it's got to be a course of action you are taking. You're not asking a question. So will we find something, or will we do this? Or you're saying we are going to do this, and you're going to
Is
planning
this
of doing
outcome going to be good, bad, or thing?
That's right.
So
So we'd say something like, we are going to enter this shadowy place to try and buy the immortal. Is this good?
no, it's not. Is this good?
No, you just say,
Will we be
Yeah.
successful?
No.
It's just
No,
you
it's-
feel a bad feeling or you feel a good feeling about
You
it.
state
That's
a
it.
course of action, and it tells you whether the course of action is good or bad. You don't say, "Will this be good?" Because
That'll screw it up.
that is implicit in the question. You're
Yes.
stating a course of action, and that course of action will either be good, bad, or indifferent.
So it would be we're going in to this dark shadowy place and we aim to uncurse Mai the Immortal.
And find Cinnabon.
Hopefully.
I'd just say I wouldn't mention the uncursed bit because that seems to be, if we can find her at least, that'd be a good start.
Because we only need to encounter her. That's good enough.
I think the primary thing is we are entering this black doom.
Yeah, exactly.
And whether we get a bad feeling about it or not implies whether or not we should enter it. But
The thing is, though, entering it to find Mighty Immortal might be fine. If we're just entering it because we want to enter it, it's probably not going to be a good idea whatsoever.
It's whether
Yeah.
a particular action, not
Yeah.
a hopeful outcome of an action.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
So
we are
entering
walking into the mist.
entering the black mist, or entering the canyon, or entering the dark place, however you wanted to phrase it, but that would be the action. If you wanted to cast a second augury later on about another action, for example, if you found Maya or you found something that might relate to her, you could then cast another augury about that, but you would cast currently, and I'm letting you know because your clerics will understand this spell,
Yeah, exactly.
you would say this is the action. It is an intended action. Entering
Cool.
the canyon, mist, dark place, however you want to rephrase it, that is the action that you're intending to take, and it will determine an outcome.
Cool. Well, Sean, you do it because you seem to know the rest out of this in and out of game.
I don't have it prepped in the end.
Oh no, just say what you want to say, and Haradni will do it.
Oh, we're entering the mist.
Great.
That's our action.
Yep.
We just want to know if it'll melt our faces off. And
Cool.
only in the first 30 minutes. If it takes 2 hours to kill us when we're dead anyway.
Yep.
If it makes us sick in the first half hour, then maybe it will give us a reasonable idea.
Enter this valley thing. Cool.
Okay, so yes, I have cast the die. What?
My ammo amount changed. Why?
These might have been from another map, not the most recent one.
Weird.
Because, okay, that's because you are adjusting a bubble which is not related to your character sheet. Okay, this is the problem when you're just chucking things in. For me to do that, I have to actually go and grab the token and copy and paste them instead of dragging them from your character sheet. So what I might do, for those who is tracking ammo with the blue bar?
Me.
Me, Sean.
So the three of you, right? Well,
Haradni also has it, but that's irrelevant to
okay.
what most of us.
I will in a minute create an attribute on your character sheets that will target that bubble.
Cool.
But I'll have to redo your tokens, so we'll
Yeah,
do
no
this
worries.
otherwise. But that's
Not a big deal right now.
That's the reason why, yes, is you're just using a number which doesn't relate to anything, so dragging from character sheets doesn't see it. Alright, so you have cast the spell, entering the darkness. Haradni is level 6. Correct?
Yes, she is.
Alright. You get no response.
Lovely. That's not comforting.
Well,
Tragedy.
Haradni believes that yes, it could just be neither.
Cool. Let's go explore this valley.
Alright.
In
As
fact,
long as it's not
Haradni believes it's probably neither.
Yeah, it's not good or bad. It's just a course of action.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you enter, do you?
Yep, let's do it. Why not?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You enter, and first things that you notice, it is really stiflingly dark in here. Even Shiro finds it impossible to see more than a couple feet in front of him. Your light sources do not penetrate, and when you do see, what you can see in front of you is, it's like looking through a dark, dark mist. And it's almost robbing all the colour and the vibrancy from anything that you're looking at. So straight away you find it very hard going. Not dangerous, you don't smell anything or taste anything in the air. It doesn't seem toxic, you don't get lightheaded.
It's just really, really unsettling.
It's just unsettling. And after you move about a little bit, and you realise going down into this canyon as well is quite awkward for a number of reasons. The sides of the canyon or the ravine or the valley are moderately treacherous, made even more so by the poor visibility. You can't really see where you're going, and on more than one occasion you come to almost a sudden precipice, which again you can't see the bottom of it, and that makes it much more difficult to maneuver through. So you find that you are going almost at a snail's pace, shuffling your feet rather than lifting them and plodding them down, and it becomes really, really slow going forward. The next thing you realize, and the other thing is that having yourselves tied up, actually you start realizing it's both a benefit and a penalty. It starts to impinge upon your ability to maneuver through here in such a way because you can't see anything, and you start realizing that you're almost having to use your limbs as an extension of your eyes, and the rope is making it a bit harder to come by. For Lenza, who is invisible, it's even more awkward going forth. One thing that you do start to pick up on, though, as you are moving through, is that whilst your eyes slowly become accustomed to it and visibility slowly begins to get a little bit better, moderately so, you can hear what appears to be the flittering or flapping of very small wings in the darkness well outside of your visibility. Just
Oh, goody.
but nothing has attacked you, and you have been in here trying to descend for some time. You have not yet come to the base. It's almost as though you think that you probably should have come to the base by now. Shiro has a bit more of an understanding of mountains than the rest of you, and yeah, he thinks you should have come to the base by now, but you haven't. It still seems to be descending into this dark, thick, almost kind of viscous, inky blackness.
Lovely.
Cool. Should we call out for Mai and see if maybe she can find us? It's only like 500 feet across.
Yeah.
From the outside.
Well, unless we can't come to a clear out, then maybe.
Yeah, let's continue heading towards the center, I guess. If
Yeah.
we can.
Okay. Who's in the front?
Good question.
Look at all the volunteers.
But probably not Lenza.
Because she has a good AC. But
Who was
I
that, sorry?
assume Minerva will be near the front because she has a good
No.
AC.
I guess I'll be in front then.
Yeah.
I think Shaw will be like second from the front.
Hope I don't need to notice anything.
You see
We're
that?
good.
You see
Yep.
that flitter through the darkness and then hover momentarily in front of your face, and then into the darkness again.
Guys, I thought I saw something like looks like a Fae, but less happy to see you. Kind of dark, like this shadow.
Ooh. Maybe they'll be our friends.
Yeah, I without doubt that.
I hope so.
I guess be on guard.
Does anybody speak Fae?
They're mini vampires.
I
Maybe
do
we can
not.
talk to them. I can't talk to them.
Me neither.
All right.
Good. Or I'm not.
So the language of the Fae is not Fae, and because they're not called Fae creatures, they're called the She.
Ah, yeah.
The language that they use is Sylvan.
Yep. Still don't know
Which,
that.
yeah, nor me.
Okay. Very well. Well, if nobody wants to talk to them, or nobody can talk to them, I guess we continue on or turn around. Up to you.
I mean, we're here. We should probably just continue while we're here.
Press on.
Oh,
Agreed.
hold on. What am I talking about? Lenza can talk. All of this stuff.
I know she can. In fact, I even have your character sheet open, looking right at your languages now.
Yeah. Wait, so Fae isn't a... It's a Fae is a language, but just not one that you speak.
Fae is a language, but Fae is the language of the Wild Elves.
Okay, cool. Yep, so not related to actual Fae.
Not really to
Because
the
it's
shoe.
spelt a different type of Fae.
Exactly. Cool. I mean, so Lenza will say I can try to talk to them, but I don't know whether they'd listen.
Cool.
Especially
Well, I guess
because I'm invisible. That may or may not help.
they might find that endearing.
Possible.
Who knows?
What is this Sylvan word Greknak that they're chanting?
Yeah.
So,
Dinner.
what are you doing?
I guess.
Press on.
I guess I'll move. I'll move. I guess I'll move more towards the front and keep an eye out for these things. And if they're trying to talk to us, I'll talk back. But yeah, we'll see how we go.
Okay. And you keep moving then, as a group, slowly but surely, inexorably towards who knows what. Eventually, time passes. You think, it's getting rumbly tummy time. Probably about midday. You think, maybe lunchtime. Maybe a little bit after. You've been going for a while. The sun would be probably pretty high in the sky right about now. And still you can't see diddly squat. You can see maybe about 2 yards ahead of you now. Your eyes have become a bit more accustomed to it, but it's still really penetrating darkness. And when you do see, it's shadowy at best. And again, devoid of most colour and vibrancy. The flapping that you do hear ceases, and suddenly you realise that the ground has levelled out and seems to be pretty flat. An expanse almost, and you can hear a trickle of water.
Ooh,
Well,
water.
something to head to, I guess.
Yep, sounds like a good day.
Mm-hmm. Let's head over to the water.
Okay. You wander around a bit trying to find your way because it seems to echo around. It's hard to tell. But yes, you do move more directly into where you believe would be the centre, and you find, again, no life in here. It's rocks only. But there is a very small, thin, kind of, might be water, you're not sure. It's more like a brook than a stream, very small, splashing across some polished and fairly loose gravel. It might be a couple feet wide, but only maybe 6 inches deep.
Hmm.
Maybe we should follow it downwards.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, at this point, I'll show all of you this thing, because another one will appear.
Ooh.
Are they around here then?
Just one of them flies down and seems to be floating around the group as you are looking at this little brook / creek / stream. It doesn't get within like arm's reach of anyone.
I guess I'll say a greeting to it and ask and just and see if it responds.
What do you say?
Does it say? I mean, probably just greetings, honestly, and leave it at that and see if anything happens.
In Sylvan?
Yes, in Sylvan.
Okay. It looks at you.
Does it look at me?
Yeah, it looks at you. Cocks its head.
Mhm.
You hear, and it kind of flitters down towards you. Then, suddenly, this kind of dusty mist explodes from its hand as it kind of opens it up towards you, and you're visible.
Hopefully.
Minerva's just gonna ask it in High Elven. Do you know Mai the Immortal? We're looking for her.
It looks over at you, cocks its head, and flitters back into the darkness.
I think it's saying we should go that way.
Probably not. This seems like the spot where we're supposed to be.
Well, Maya's actually living in here. She needs a water. She probably still needs a source of water.
Maybe.
Yeah.
She's immortal.
Doesn't mean she still.
Doesn't need to hydrate.
Yup. I present Exhibit A, the face of Bo.
I would have gone with Cassandra.
Never heard of.
Moisturize me.
Never heard
I
of
know. Cassandra's had a bit too much work done.
Time passes, you believe, slowly, but you can't tell. Without being able to see the sun, and without really any understanding because you've been taking so long and moving, has time been progressing, or is it only a matter of 20 minutes since you entered? Hard to tell. But you are fatiguing. You're tired, you're worn, you're dusty and dirty. You feel, hard to tell, seems to be clinging to you. You are sweating.
Are we where we think the center of this area is?
Could be.
Could be.
I guess let's investigate the area, while we're here.
It's hard to tell because your visibility is so impaired.
Mm.
Now, if we were burning torches, we'd know.
If we put a brick on the end of the rope, and by that I mean, a rock, and swing it around a bit or throw it around a bit, does that help us navigate? Sort of like using a blind stick? Or
Yeah.
could I use a javelin to tap, 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 tap?
Yeah, you've got about 2 yards of visibility now, as I mentioned, but it is is still impaired. But yes, you can tap around if you want. It will make it maybe a little bit easier, but 2 yards is decent enough to see where your feet are going to go.
Okay. Yeah, let's explore this plateau area.
Okay,
Right.
everyone can roll a D. Actually, I'll roll it on your behalves. How many characters? How many characters are there? There's 6.
There's 7 of us, I think,
6.
including Haradni.
6.
Oh, sure is missing.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were already including Shura. Yes, we
No,
have 7.
I was counting tokens. Yes.
Oh, right. Yes.
So if I go to sheets and where I don't have access to Shiro on that, let me grab him from here and chuck him up. Shiro is not in there, so Shiro must be in the. So he's in secondary sheets. Duh. Brain working good. Ah, for God's sake. When I try and grab the token, I can't move it because I get your stupid macros. God,
His plan is coming to fruition.
the macros are getting in the way. So let me move the map. Right there. Okay, there we go. 7. 7 it is. Let me do this. Do I have a D7? Probably not. I'll re-roll an 8. For God's sake. That's because I'm not signed in as a DM. 1D7. Oh, bad day.
Was it an 8?
It's just a D7.
3. It's Lenza.
Lovely.
Alright. Suddenly, Lenza,
Mhm.
as you kind of like milling around, having a bit of a look, trying to work out what you're doing, discussing using depth sticks, etc. A couple of these shadowy sprite-like creatures descend upon you blindingly fast
Okie dokie.
from the darkness. Make a surprise check for me, please.
Cool, just D6. 1.
You are
Oh.
surprised.
I am surprised.
All right. You had an invisibility potion anyway.
I do have an invisibility potion, but I'm saving that.
Cool. They will descend and suddenly snatch from your person Lane's sword by the hilt and
rude.
quickly fly up into the darkness, dragging it with them.
Can I make it? I can't. I assume I can't make any effort to stop them.
You are surprised, and you hear them, and they'll fly in a direction, and a couple seconds later you can react. Everybody was like, holy crap, what happened then? That no one else got a chance to react because of the impaired darkness. But yeah.
Can I attempt to dash in the direction they're going?
You're going to what, sorry?
Attempt to go after them, essentially.
Okay, you're going to run off from the group into the darkness? Sure.
I'm not going to go too far.
BRB.
That's fine.
At least I'll make an attempt to try and get it back. But
lucky you're visible now, otherwise they wouldn't have seen you at all move. Yes, you're going to start chasing off after them. Everyone, Lenza has just rushed off into the darkness for some reason.
I guess we
What?
follow Lenza. That must be the way. Quick, follow the hunter.
Okay. Well, we don't want to get split up, so yeah.
Sure.
I assume you're all still tied by a rope, yeah?
Yeah. So we're not going to be able to move anywhere near as fast as you are.
Nope. Especially when you've got a couple like Hypatia in heavy armor and Shiro who's short and...
Yep.
But yes. Alright, Lenza, you start bolting into the darkness. Make a hear noise check for me, please.
Yes, I can do that. What's my hear noise? 45. Success.
Cool. Okay, you hear the laughter in a direction slightly to your right. It seems to have crossed the stream, heading further and deeper into the darkness. And then you hear a clattering sound as something metal falling upon rocks, but it's off in the distance.
Oh.
I will stop running hellbent and try and move slowly in the direction of that, trying to look on the ground for it, because I assume that was the sword dropping, or at least it sounded like the sword dropping.
Okay.
I'm back, sorry.
Cool.
I've run off by myself. That's all good. You didn't miss much.
Did you go more than 2 feet?
Yes.
Bold.
Yep. He did a Talcy and Vermintide too.
Oh, guys, why aren't you protecting me?
You're over there!
Eventually, yes, Lenza, you do get to where you believe this was. You are slightly discombobulated now. And by
Yes.
slightly, I mean significantly.
I figured that would happen.
You have found, however, a small little hut, ramshackle, made of dead wood, possibly petrified wood, maybe. Hard to tell. It's all kind of like this sickly looking grey shadowy colour. There is on the outside of this hut, and the hut's only small, it might be like 8 feet high, maybe a 10 by 10 foot square, possibly has a single room within, if that. But on the outside of it is what appears to be a small cage that is made up of stacked stones, pebbles, one upon the other. It doesn't look like it would be very robust. It looks quite flimsy, and you think that a moderate wind could knock it over. Yet within there, kind of slumped over, you see a figure. In front of it, on the ground, rests something that glitters, perhaps. You're not sure. You came across this fairly suddenly because of the darkness.
The darkness, yes.
And you can hear from within the hut a kind of kind of weeping, painful sound. Someone making kind of high-pitched but groaning noises.
Lovely. Okay. Probably found who we're looking for, or at least I have. And there's no sign of the sword.
The glittering might be it. It's hard to tell from where you are. You'd have to approach closer.
Cool.
It
Well,
doesn't-
I'm not going to do that immediately. I'm going to see if I can locate the rest of my companions.
Alright. Let's see if they had any luck following you. Everyone
Yeah,
can
they're
roll.
slow clink moving behind.
Yep, everyone can roll a hear noise check. Oh, you know what? Screw it. Eventually, you guys can catch up with her. Hey, you guys will find her eventually.
Can I
Bumble
just
there.
say, we are very grateful to the small flying creatures for making you visible again, because this would have been a lot of fun otherwise.
Yes, I said that. I said, isn't it lucky that you're visible now?
All right.
You can see or hear them approaching Lenza. They seem to be slightly off to the side, but moving in the general direction.
I believe Hypatia sounds like clank, 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 wheeze, wheeze, clank, clank, wheeze.
Yes, and that's her on a good day. You can all get together if you so choose.
Yeah,
Lenza
I'll let them know that we're here, that we've arrived.
And yes,
And
you
also,
can.
let them know to be careful of their belongings, like secure your belongings, because otherwise the fucking Fae will steal them.
Awesome.
You can all
Running.
see that small hut now, and the cage made of stone off to the side. As you are doing that, looking, you're maybe 10 feet away. If that, it's really close. A figure, cowled, hooded, bowed, hunched, staggers more than walks, more than ambles out of the opening of the hut. And walks over to where the glittering is. It's very faint glittering. It doesn't really glitter so much as it's more small motes of light in the darkness. And she will reach down, because it is a female that you see. Has a female form, old lady form, and will grasp a sword by the hilt and lift it up.
Lovely. I guess we approach. Yeah. I look at the rest of the party.
Sure.
Hey,
Yeah?
are you my by chance?
She will look up at you, and you can see it. Her face almost looks like death. It is pale, very pale, obviously from never seeing the sun. eyes are just milky white orbs, missing teeth. It looks like the face is kind of sunken in upon itself.
Kruber, being Kruber, is going to look and go, my, you don't look well.
Oh,
Yep.
she doesn't look well.
Who are you? Who are you?
I'm going to slightly push Hypatia forward and say, and Lenza and go, you two do the talking.
Well, me. That's a terrible idea.
Alright.
Do you speak Sylvan?
Notes.
She was speaking Central.
Alright,
Yeah.
well, that's good.
I'm saying Sylvan's come in useful once so far.
Yes, she was speaking Central,
Yeah,
not Sylvan.
so that's good. I can speak Central. Hello. Hello, Mai. I am Hypatia. We've been sent by
One of the heads of the church.
yes, I think the Briona?
I think High Priestess Brianna. Yep.
To help you, I guess.
See if we can.
She'll
See if we
lift up
can-
she'll lift up the sword with seeming ease, as though the blade is but a leaf, far easier than someone who looks to be as decrepit as she is should otherwise be able to lift it up. And she'll look at it. You came to kill me, yes?
Well, that's what the High Priestess thought you wanted.
She'll throw the sword aimlessly over her shoulder into the hut. Clang, clatter. Elven blades. Elves done enough. Why are you here? I did not ask for you to come.
Well, we heard about your plight, and we made a deal with the archpriest to help you out if we could.
My plight.
Aren't you living in terrible agony or something? Cursed to live forever?
Every second I am in pain. What can you do?
Probably not much. We could take you out of the darkness. Maybe shopping? Huh? Buying stuff
Oh my
usually makes me
God.
happy.
Makeover.
Well, I haven't bought any lingerie for a while.
Hypatia would love to help you with that.
That's what you're going with? We had all this time to think of
Female
something.
brigandine.
He says, I'll take you out to the sunset and we'll go shopping. All she needs is a friend, and Minerva believes that.
I'm breaking it, Grail, but only because that is the most appropriate gif.
It is.
But I cannot leave this place, or why would I leave here?
Why can't you leave here?
Why would I leave? What is for me in the outworld? What is there outside of this place?
Lingerie, we've discussed that.
Sunlight. There's
Yeah.
sunlight. So much sunlight.
The sunlight, it's more painful.
How long has it
Agony.
been? How long have you been in darkness for?
I do not know. From the time of when the gods blasted the world.
Are you sure the sun's that painful? I mean, you might want to check it out every now and again. Maybe you'll find it's not that bad anymore.
Traveling from here is painful. Why would I do that to myself?
Why would
You guys are really bad at this, aren't you? Linda says this out loud, but
I have.
I mean, we're trying to find out about her.
I have. And she indicates to the cage. I have sacrifice that I don't really want, but they bring to me. They think I am powerful, that I will protect, but I will eat it, but why? Why? What is the point? It's too painful to go out. You can
Can
We
help
see
me?
what's in the cage.
A slumped body.
Does
Someone
it smell cinnamony?
Hard to tell.
Well, perhaps if we could. Well, I can only think of a couple of ways to help you, really. But we may need to take you. I think the best. What if we took you back to the high priestess? Do you think she could help you?
I have seen her
She
before.
seems to be a powerful cleric.
I have seen her. She has done nothing. She can't do anything.
But
She
you've
came
seen
here. She
a
came here.
previous one, surely.
No, you said Brian. No. She came perhaps 2 years, maybe more. The time it travels slowly here. I don't know how long it's been, but I saw her. She saw me, came. It's. She thought she could do good. She was wrong. There is no good in this world anymore.
Hmm.
There is still good in this world, Mai. There is ale. And I, Kruber, have known a few bad things, perhaps nothing like yours, nor have I known the sweet touch of lingerie. But there is good, and it is ale. Come, we can come and find some ale for you.
So cheese whiz.
How long ago what did Bronor try? How did Bronor try to help you?
Many ways by invoking the 8, the powers that they gave her, but it didn't work. I am still here.
Hmm.
I still have a wound that she gave me. She thought she was doing what she could, but she thought she was trying to help, but it's just more pain.
And that wound can't be healed?
No, it's just pain.
Hmm.
Now I am tiring. You should go. And she'll turn and she'll start moving back towards the hut.
Okay, we just want to take our friend with us. You don't have like a symbol carved on you that's like the god's curse or an item, or I still think just staying in this place sucks. You should come shopping.
And ale.
seriously,
Yep.
read the room.
No.
Wisdom 4.
I'm
Couldn't read
seriously considering we force her into the cage and take her out of here, so you know.
That sounds entirely unreasonable.
Well, it
That
sounds.
is why she's doing it.
She'll stop and she'll indicate the cage. That is your friend?
Maybe.
Oh,
Someone
we
have a
need to
look
get
there?
up close.
Shall we go over and have a look and see through the cage?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, you wander over, and indeed, Siobhan lies crumpled upon the ground, devoid of all her equipment.
And life.
She seems to be breathing, shallow though it is. She has suffered some grievous injuries, but they haven't been healed particularly well.
Should we heal Siobhan?
Yes.
Well, should we see if Mai can body swap into Siobhan's body?
Hmm.
I don't think that's. I don't think that's going to help really.
Have any powers, Mai? Like, do you have any cool abilities that come with your curse, apart from not dying?
Powers?
Yeah, but your bedside manner is horrible.
Hmm.
I do not know powers. I was once powerful, I guess. In time I was powerful millennia ago. Long
Cool.
ago. The darkness, the curse, it gives me some control over the dead, I guess. And I ward places that seek to enter. But not many. I don't care anymore. I just am. Now, if that is your friend, take her, go.
What happened to her? How did she come to be here? And
Weren't you
does
listening?
she have ale?
She wants us to leave, I guess.
The troglodytes, they brought her. It's a big offering. They call me the Dark One. Perhaps in time I was, but I am tired, and the pain is so great. Just take her. Leave me.
Have you tried to end it?
Oh, for fuck's sake, Kruber, it's enough.
Fair question.
He is demanded of this. Like, this is a quest that he was given to do.
Many times. Many times.
There's a
It's
dragon nearby.
There is? Oh, yeah, there is.
I mean, nearby is relative, but
injury. Injury cannot slay me. I am done. This is
Oh,
my time is over here. I need to sit. You should go before the sprites take umbrage at your presence.
Okay. Sounds like a good time to leave then.
God damn it.
I will ask if possibly I could have my sword
And that was yours?
back.
Elven steel. The elves have done enough. You are an elf. It makes sense. I will get it for you.
I thank you, and I apologize for me and my companions disturbing you when we had no. And I direct this back at the rest of the party when we had no idea how to help.
We're only coming here to find out about her. We know more now than we did before.
It's okay. Everyone thinks they can do good, but it does no longer exist. She'll wander inside, and the sword will be thrown out with considerable force, skittering across the ground.
Lovely. I'll go. I assume that's the sword that was taken from me. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
Did you see my whispers?
Ah, I did see that, yes. Did you send only the one?
Oh, it was just to both of you. But
Okay.
yes, they're exactly the same. I just wasn't sure which screen you were looking at.
My laptop had momentarily hibernated, so I have just unhibernated it.
More like dibernated, right? Did you end up yeeting the mouse?
Cool. Yeah, we should go. That's what Shiro says.
Hmm.
And we're off.
Yeah.
Have we got Siobhan?
You can
Yeah.
get her if you wish.
Yes.
Kruber will help
If
carry her.
does that mean we can leave her behind?
If you wish.
Why would we do that?
Obviously, she doesn't have any gear.
She has nothing. As mentioned,
No.
stripped of all her equipment.
Is Craig playing yet another naked character?
Yes.
Apparently,
That's how most of his characters are introduced generally.
I mean, if you think about it, most characters are introduced naked
I introduced a character
at the start of their story.
Well,
That's okay.
no, not really.
At
'cause that's
birth.
yeah, but that's not the start of their story. But anyway, I introduced one of Craig's characters once, similar, like tied up in a evil little chapel in a dungeon, and the characters, instead of freeing her, started looting all the stuff that was nearby. Oh, to check this out. Eventually, they released Craig's character and gave her a dagger.
Nice. Nice.
Anyway, back to this game. You have Siobhan. She is conscious, weak. She hasn't eaten for some time, and she's pretty low on hit points and heavily on fatigued levels.
Sure, I'll give her a heal.
Cool.
Heal her.
Yeah, she thinks that's fantastic. Phantasmaglorious. Cool. All right. What is?
Do we want to head out now, or like, are we going to try and attempt to do something, or?
No, leaving.
Yeah, we clearly don't.
We should leave. Shiro's like, yeah, we should leave now.
Well, we clearly don't have the resources or knowledge required to end her suffering.
I mean, I said that. I said that back in Summerton, but
Yeah, the eight have spoken to Shiro, and Shiro says we should leave. Yeah.
Do we ever listen to you, Lenza?
He starts manning.
No, of course not. But but I do like to remind you when I'm proven right all the time.
And we will never ever let you forget those times that you've been proven right. You told us there was a wall there and that it would bounce back.
The objective was
We
not to
didn't
help her,
believe
it was to see if we could help her.
Just to see if she could give us any indication of how to help.
Exactly.
Are you
100%
leaving or staying?
Leaving.
Okay.
Yeah, let's leave.
Leaving is a little bit easier than getting here. It's easier to go up than to come down. It is far less treacherous. Were you leaving as well, Lenza?
Yes.
Cool. You can. I mean, you do have a mostly conscious but very poor ambulatory Siobhan with you now, but can lead her up and out. And you will exit the valley, the little area of shadows and darkness, and you'll still hear this flapping around occasionally nearby you, and kind of the slightly maniacal laugh. But you will exit the valley. At first you didn't think you had exited, and then you realise that the darkness that you have exited into has a moon above and stars, and you can see the
And suddenly I can see a lot better than I could.
And you can see a lot. You especially can see a lot
Yes.
better than you could. Yes.
I'm gonna pop my head back in and say, "Cheers for the help, Flappy boys," and then quickly pull my head back.
Okay. You pull your head in before it gets bitten off.
Yep.
We might need
Alright.
to come back here later, but okay.
Yeah.
And they will remember that I was polite.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there are souls. I don't think it's going to help.
I mean, I
That's out.
wasn't specifically
What, by
trying to
stealing
help
by
their
stealing my
assholes.
sword?
And
Well,
leading us to
We did. Did we not ask them, tell them who we were looking for?
Yep.
And they basically guided us straight there.
I don't know whether they understood that, but sure.
Well, they led us straight to where we wanted to go.
True.
So one would assume that that was just their mischievous way of showing what
I
they...
am not making that assumption, but it's possible either way.
I'm going to go with that didn't let us lead us to a death which they found amusing. So I'm going to not take a look at that gift horse in the mouth.
Exactly. Considering them neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
The
Anyway,
character.
What
let's
do you
return to
think?
Stumberton, because this was pretty horrific adventure, and I'm tired.
What do you think made them turn neutral?
Lust for donkeys.
Oh,
Let's go find our companions over the mountains
Wait.
and get the F out of here.
what is your character? Both of your characters' alignment?
Chaotic.
Is anyone in the party neutral?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
Ugh.
Lenza-
stay away.
yeah, lens is neutral.
I think,
Eh,
I think Sean's good,
Pretty much.
and Sean's wondering why he's with these guys. But at least they're not bad. They're
It
just
has crossed my path, crossed my mind.
they're not
regularly.
To be
bad people.
fair.
They're just idiots.
Sean should have been wondering that since the very beginning.
Oh, I think he has. I think he's even made a few comments in
Sean
game
is
about it.
endeavouring to change the world by reducing the impact of this party.
He is the party's chaperone and moral conscience.
Mm.
Mm,
I secretly heal all the goblins and stuff you hurt.
Uh,
God.
he's not our conscience when he's asleep.
Anyway, yes, you are back in the mountains, and you wish to go find your allies.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to go back through the tunnel or what?
No.
No.
But we don't know where we are roughly. Like,
If
I
we-
guess we could attempt to try and find a way back, but I don't think even Lenza would be confident.
We're here-ish.
You
Yes,
are hereish.
that's the issue.
You reckon we're better off going back through the tunnel?
Like, at least we'll know where we are. Like, rather than just wandering over the mountains randomly. Like, we could
Well-
probably find our way back.
And
but
is that Linza the Huntsman talking, or is that?
Could I make a suggestion that
I assume so. Yes.
that we rest up and get Siobhan in a condition where she can actually motivate herself?
Oh yeah, I was gonna also. I would
Oh,
also suggest that obviously.
Yeah.
Like we should like it's nice. We shouldn't be leaving now. We should rest, have a sleep, and then leave off in the morning.
Yeah, we still probably need to spend a day or two getting her all rehydrated and refed and healed and all the rest of it.
I don't have the rations for that. Side note.
Yes, well, we have hunters for a reason.
Yes,
Okay.
but I get how. Yeah, actually, there's that. How long is it going to take to try and get, if we even can get Siobhan back in shape?
You'll be able to get it back in shape, not a problem. Especially when you've got 3 clerics in the party.
Mhm.
Absolutely, it won't take long at all. And 2 huntsmen that can pop her full of protein.
Excellent.
So you're saying we probably shouldn't move her until she's in better shape?
Yeah, she hasn't been treated for her injuries or fed since she was captured. And remember, the way she was captured was by having the snot beaten out of her.
Yes.
So
Fair.
she actually has a lingering injury as well. Let's see what lingering injury it is. I'm going to give it to one of you.
Is it tendonitis caused by ice cream spoon?
Mm.
No. Where's my lingering injury? Okay, I'm going to give this. I'm going to give this to one of you guys because I can't deal it to.
Could you deal us one each? We're not allowed to tell each other what it is, and then we vote for who has the best one,
No.
and
By-
this is that one.
No,
Because
but
that would be
you're-
amazing. Because we're just saying, "Oh, mine's the good one."
No, but because you're
I
a
support that
smartass-
100%.
No, because you've been a smartass, I'll deal it to you.
It's not good.
what you expect
Oh
them to be.
no!
Can she actually walk? I should have checked that first. Oh no, yeah.
-5 to movement speed. That is pretty freaking bad.
Yep. And it's a
Okay.
major injury as well. She got.
Yeah. She got snapped right in the spine. Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
So as a major injury,
Ooh.
that will take her weeks to recover from.
Well, all I can
Yeah,
say
pal.
is it's going to take me weeks to level anyway. So let's get back to Summerton, rest up for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Travel through the tunnels, meet up with the guys, travel back to Summerton, level, rest. Let's do that.
You're going to go through the tunnels.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
That seems
that
the
is
advice from the hunters. We follow their advice.
Like,
This is their terrain.
I'm not confident about wandering over a mountaintop and then finding the way back to where we were.
Yep.
All I'm saying, Lenza, is you've suggested a course of action, and Minerva agrees with you.
So
Did we have standing orders with the party to go back to Summerton? Next time we do this, we should have standing orders to go back to Summerton after a certain amount of time.
Okay, you can add that to the list
I
of
mean,
standing orders. That's
the
not
standing-
one
the
of them at the
standing-
moment.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yes, you're right. That should definitely be a standing order for them.
If you run
After
out,
how many days?
if you run out of food, go home.
Oh, they'll do that anyway. They're not intelligence 3 creatures.
Aaron is.
Okay, fine. Aaron may need orders, but Thadar's not going to be like, oh, I ran out of food. I guess I'll keep waiting around. Thadar's like,
Yeah.
fuck's my food. This
Yeah.
is bullshit.
Yep.
Yep.
So it's like, you know what? I haven't got my stuff, and I've got all this wagons, so I'm going to take them back to Summerton as well. And if I need to sell some stuff to fund
Pay
my
Yep.
way, then
He still has been paid well in advance, so that shouldn't be a problem for at least a little while.
you're also supposed to provide food for him.
Yeah. Indeed.
Anyway, we can leave it there. It will take 6
Sounds like
weeks
a good time.
6 weeks of solid rest for Siobhan to attempt to recover from her
Fully.
major
Yes.
injury.
And that will probably be in Summerton, not out in the wilderness.
Yes.
Oh, so we can't make it through the caves. That's fine.
What, speed travel through the caves?
Yes.
The only problem with going through the caves is we're guaranteed we'll probably have a fight.
Why?
You
Not
mean
guaranteed.
a fight?
Just don't shoot the trogs.
You reckon they're going to let us just waltz through their village again?
Hopefully.
Well,
Give us
It-
deployment.
depends how nice that. It depends if the priest guy is there and he feels like letting us through.
Yeah.
Otherwise, well, bring it. As long as we should be able. We just have to shield Siobhan, and basically bodyguard Siobhan through there.
Use her
Doable.
as a club.
I can just see this. We're going to get all this trouble to save her, and then right as we're leaving, she'll cop a spear in the neck and die.
That's fine. That's still the correct thing to do.
Yeah, means we know how she dies rather than getting randomly eaten by something.
Exactly. If
Potentially.
a man falls in battle, you send more men back to recover his body, even if the losses are greater than that. Like the corpse. Of course you do.
That's a good place to leave it. We will do that and see whether or not you need to send more people back to retrieve your corpses from the tunnels.
Indeed.
Cool.
And whether Craig will return.
I better get that backstory for my
He will.
barbarian.
He's just suffered an injury at the moment.
No, whether Craig will return.
Yes, and Craig
Yeah,
has
I
also suffered an injury. It's injuries
Yeah.
all around.
Yeah.
And Craig, I think, has suffered a spinal injury, so bit of serendipity.
He was suffering a brain injury this evening, I saw on Facebook.
Awesome.
It-
Is rescuing...
He was watching
Siobhan
Borat.
like
That was the brain injury I was alluding to.
Is rescuing a Siobhan like a plot thing?
You guys, yes? Why?
Hey. I'm just wondering.
I gave you guys minor goal XP for navigating your way through the troglodyte
Cool.
caverns for the last session.
Nice.
So
I
yes,
don't know where the XP is located, so.
In
That's
your
all.
character sheet.
Yeah, I'm at the spreadsheet. Or
no,
we
the
not see that?
spreadsheet is in my Dropbox that you do not have access to.
But
Mhm.
he updates the XP on our character sheet during the week because Grail is obsessive.
Not obsessive.
I think the word you meant was dedicated
that's
That's
better.
true. Yes.
and generous.
I am generous. Absolutely. All right.
Obsessively dedicated and generous.
Sure, we'll go
Cool.
with that. All right, cool. Good session.
Yep.
Well, we actually rescued Siobhan. That's
Yeah.
impressive. I would honestly
It's
did not
huge.
expect us to succeed at anything. But
You guys
hey,
have succeeded in plenty of things. I mean, you assassinated the prince, and
Yep, Minerva definitely counts that as a success. Absolutely.
that was the end goal of your task, and you did it.
Yep.
God fucking damn it! The one session I wasn't here, and you go do that, which ruins our lives for at least a little
Freaking
bit.
nailed it as well. So good.
Fuck's sake!
And we got those nut spiders from it, which was totally legit. They were awesome. Yeah, no, that was great.
The nut spiders did make it almost worthwhile.
What made it worthwhile was what you did after the fact.
I can show you the world.
Carpets, ovens,
Yeah.
rivers.
Oh.
It was great.
And
Anyway,
also, sure, we'll tell everybody that she was like really evil.
Oh, was she?
Yeah. So we should either stay away from her or find a way of ridding the world of her.
I mean, she probably wouldn't mind either of those options. I'm going to be honest.
I mean, she eats people that are put in that cage, so.
Yeah, she didn't seem keen on us having a crack at it.
No. Because it sounded painful, and it sounds like it's more painful every time somebody stabs her.
Mhm.
So,
Mm.
I assume that's why her selfishness won't let her walk out into the light. I feel like potentially pulling her into the light may actually kill her, but she also seems incredibly powerful, and getting her into a cage and then pulling her out of like a canyon seems like really hard.
Anyway, I think Grail wants to go so he can
Yep.
play Vermintide, so we should do that.
well, also, well, mainly because I think I don't really have anything else to do for this session tonight. I'll do
Yeah,
a little bit of extra stuff.
we've reached the
Mm.
end.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's fine. This is good. This is a good spot to finish the session,
that's what I
rather than the
Agreed.
last three where we've finished either mid fight or mid exploration in between fights.
but they were
Yep.
great. Culminated with the explosive, which was great. Brimstone
Indeed.
munitions, fantastic. Anyway, yes, we'll call it there. Thank you very much, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.